This is Game Set Match Kentucky, episode 39, recorded on Wednesday, July 17th, 2024, entitled, We're Kind of in a Hurry. Hey everybody, it's time for another episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, where we talk about all things related to the Central Kentucky Tennis Series and probably a whole lot more that you never asked for. We're recording on Wednesday, July 17th. My name is Chris Godby. I'm the chairman and one of the founders of the CKTS, where the lines are good and sandbagging is for golf. And if you don't enter by the deadline, you may not get in. I'm at Studio C again for, I hope, is the final time, but I don't know if it's the final time, and maybe we'll get back to that topic in just a minute. Chad Young is in Studio B in Scottsville. How's it going?
Doing well, doing well.
I got to see you over the weekend when I played in the summer flights at the Buchanan Indoor Facility, and that was fun. That was my first time doing that, but I like that format.
Yeah, it's different, and there are a lot of advantages to it. I think it was a relatively small number of people, but that format really works for small to medium-sized tournaments. You still get a lot of matches.
Yep.
You know, if you were to have less than 100 players entered in one of our tournaments. You might only have semifinals, finals, and lose that semifinal, it's one and done. You go home. With that event, the way that it works, I mean, you're hopefully getting, 4 or 5 matches against your level, or 4 or 5 sets, because they only play one set. That's one thing about
pro
that.
sets, 8-game sets.
I thought it was a single set to 6 in singles.
No,
and doubles was a pro set.
Well, now I didn't play singles, so you may be right about singles. I only played doubles; they were pro sets. So
it was really good. I mean, he's Evan Brown runs those. He did a couple in the winter. This is the first one he did in the summer, and he used the indoor mainly.
Thank goodness.
A couple matches outdoors, but yeah, I thought it went really well. I think he was happy. Certainly room to grow it, but. I hope if people haven't played in the Open, they'll check them out in the future, because I think they're really a nice little addition to the tournament offerings we have in our community.
Yeah, it was a good warm-up, hopefully, for the Danville Open, and maybe a good cool-down from the Etown Open. We are deep into July now, and Wimbledon is over. Back when I was teaching school, I always got a little depressed when Wimbledon ended, because I knew that we were just a few short weeks until it's time to go back to school. But I enjoyed Wimbledon this year, maybe more than any other year. My guy Djokovic did not win, so it was not as great for me at the end. But what's even worse is that is I don't think that, I think that was his last chance. What do you think?
To win it?
To win Wimbledon, yeah.
I mean, I saw a poll about whether or not he'd win another major. I think there's still a chance of that, but Wimbledon is such a tough surface to play on, and it's hard to it's hard as you get older, I think, for a professional. To be able to put it together for, what do they have to win, 6 or 7 matches? The biggest thing is, it wasn't like Alcaraz got lucky. It wasn't like a couple things just if they'd gone the other way. I mean, he just was outclassed, and he admitted that. And that's the bigger thing. It's been a long time, really, since anybody outside of Nadal or Federer has been able to outclass Djokovic in a major, especially in a major final. It's few and far between over the last decade, it seems.
I like him. I hope he wins more majors, but I hope he gets that one more Wimbledon before he's done. But I don't think the chances are great on that surface.
I enjoyed it. I didn't watch a lot. Probably the years I've watched more. I was really happy for some of the Americans.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
played, but also disappointed. Like watching Emma Navarro beat Coco was really, I was frustrated because I wanted Coco to win, but Navarro played so well, and then just the next match she just wasn't there. Taylor Fritz, I mean, beating Zverev from 2 sets down, even though he might have been injured, to win in 5, I thought was huge. And then he had a huge opportunity against Musetti and just, kind of fell apart in the second and third sets. And that was kind of disappointing. But the women's final was great. Did you watch any of the doubles finals?
No, I didn't get to see any doubles.
The men's final, I was at work, and we had it on in the Soki Lounge. And I think it was 7-6, 6-7, 7-6, or 6-7, 7-6, 7-6, I think. And all 3 went to tiebreakers, and all 3 were really close tiebreakers, like 11-9, 10-8, 12-10. And it was really, really good stuff. And the women's was 2 tiebreakers too. So I did watch the finals of the doubles, and I watched more of the women's final than the men's. But yeah, Wimbledon is always a highlight of the year for sure.
And I don't have to be so depressed when it's over now. But summer is slipping away.
I'm confused. And is your schedule changing? You don't have to go back to school in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I still have to go back to school. I'm just not in the classroom. Since 2020, I have a different position in my school district, and I'm not a classroom teacher anymore.
So the start of the school year doesn't bring the dread.
No, I still work in the summer. So I don't work every day in the summer. I'm not working today. So if anybody from my district sees me sitting in my office recording a podcast at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, I'm not working today. I'm off today. I worked the last 2 days. I'm off today. So I don't work every day in the summer, just X number of days. I got to get my days in.
One last Wimbledon note. I mean, we had that grass court at Covington, and that was a really, really, really impressive piece of work by a guy who works for Bowling Green City Parks and Recreation, who coaches the middle school team out of South Warren, Tim Kickert. He's the one who came up with that idea. We had a little event at the beginning of the fortnight, and I know some folks were able to play on it over the last 2 weeks on grass. It's a different experience, and I'd be surprised if we don't see that again next year. It was a pretty neat setup.
I was on vacation when that was going on, so I had to miss it because I wanted to check that out myself. And at the summer flights this Saturday, some people were talking about it, how cool it was. So that's definitely.
Brothers made an appearance for that.
Yes, I saw their photos. I saw the photos of the Humphresses. Yes, yeah. So speaking of competition, one of the reasons I titled this episode is we're kind of in a hurry is because I have to be here somewhere in 30 minutes from now. You have to be done in 30 minutes from now with this recording. So tell us where you're headed.
Well,
you're not headed there today, but where you're getting ready to go.
Short term, I'm headed to work. In the long term, we're headed down to Alabama for the 40 and over sectional championships. There's some other Kentucky teams, some headed this weekend to Auburn, Alabama. I think there might be some folks in Rome, Georgia, but I'm not sure if that's this week or next. Auburn, Alabama, where there's an 80% chance of rain each day. So really looking forward to that.
It's your 40 and over men's team, is that right?
Men's. We won the state championship back in June. And we're headed to sectional. If a lot of folks I know play USTA League, and this is the third time I've played in a sectional. We played last year in the combo sectional because the team who won couldn't play. So it's pretty neat. The last time I played in a sectional was in Cary, North Carolina, back in 2006. That was in the mixed. So, I think we're all really excited. We've been really striving to win that state title the last couple of years, and this will be kind of the reward for it. And we're hoping to go down and have some fun and be competitive.
Well, good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
I haven't gotten to play a lot myself. The summer flights was my first time on the court in a while. I'm still in the middle of this remodel that I've been talking about for a long time. And when I mentioned a few minutes ago, I hope this is the last time I'm in Studio C doing this podcast, and maybe I'm in Studio A next time, depending on how many weeks down the road we record again. But there's the mess right now as it is in the picture. And if I can ever...
You sent it to me. I thought you could definitely see some progress. It's coming along.
Yeah. It's just a lot of it's now up to me and not up to the contract labor anymore. A lot of it's up to me. So I'll get it together and it'll be nice. I hope. So anyway, on this episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, we're going to look at the results of last weekend's State Farm Etown Open that took place in Elizabethtown. Our own Chad Young was there. We'll take a look at what's also coming up next for the CKTS. But first, let me tell you about Vision Cabinet Source in Campbellsville, Kentucky. They are a kitchen and bath cabinet supplier that ships all over the United States and has for over a decade. Whether you're building a new home or renovating a room in your home or building a podcast studio, Vision Cabinet Source can provide you with classic cabinet styles that are well built and affordable. You'll also find that they go above and beyond to provide service that exceeds expectations, from answering your initial questions to ensuring that you're happy with the final delivered product. Every Vision cabinet is built upon their promise to deliver well-constructed cabinets made from solid hardwoods, classic versatile designs that complement your style, affordable options that fit your budget, on-time delivery with shipment within 24 hours. Accessible personal service you can count on as well. They have many different painted and stained lines of cabinets that are stocked at their warehouse in Campbellsville, Kentucky. In making these beautiful cabinets, they have a 17-step finishing process that assures top quality craftsmanship. Go online and look at their styles and designs for yourself, and you'll agree that they do great work at an affordable price. Check them out on their website at visioncabinet.com, or you can call them at 270-465-3222. Tell them you heard about Vision Cabinet Source right here on Game Set Match Kentucky.
Yeah, look for them on future podcasts too. I mean, they've got they're front and center in Studio A. They look great.
I got some base cabinets from Vision. I had countertops put on them the other day. I'm going to build shelves above that, so that's who knows. That'll be my first hand at real carpentry if I do it myself. I may cheat and buy some IKEA stuff and install it on top of there. That may be what I end up doing. I don't know. We'll see.
After you've told people that you're going to do it yourself, and they're going to go, "Wow."
Did I say that I was going to do this? There in the same sentence, I said I'm going to do it, and then I said maybe I won't do it. So I don't know.
He said he was going to dabble in carpentry, and those look like they came out of an IKEA store.
I may get them from IKEA and then try to pass them off as my own.
Well, those Vision Source cabinets look really, really good.
Well, thank you. I like they have the and I know a lot of other cabinet companies do this, but they have those drawers that you can't slam them. Like you kind of push them closed and then they just glide closed. I don't know. All right. Anyway, just nice little touches like that. So you went to Elizabethtown last weekend. You played in the Etown Open. They had no rain, right?
Not that I know of.
Nope.
I was one and done, and I was out of there by 2:00 on Saturday.
To my knowledge, there were no weather delays or anything.
I don't think there was.
I couldn't be there myself, so but no rain.
Roger probably praising the Lord for that, because
yes,
that tournament's been snake bitten with rain the last couple of years.
It has had some rain issues, yes, for the last few years, but not this year, and maybe that's a new trend for the Etown Open. Are you ready to start with the juniors? We'll go through the results of the finals of all the junior divisions.
Well, before that, I would like to say I'll give a nod to the Etown Tennis Commission. That's one of the nicest facilities in the state right now. One of the largest. I mean, they've got 15 courts now, 15 courts at one location. I don't know that anybody else in the state has that. I mean, they do at UK. They I don't know anywhere else that has that many courts in one location. Uh, and maybe we should see some things start moving to E-Town, maybe USTA, maybe KHSA, but a nod to the E-Town tennis folks, because that is really, I think, the premier outdoor tennis venue in the state right now.
Yes, I know they just opened 5 new courts that were ready in time for the State Farm Etown Open. So I'm one of my disappointments is not only that I did not get to play, I didn't get to see the new extra 5-court addition they put out there.
So congratulations. I know that is a busy park with all the high schools that use it. So very, 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 very nice addition to what was already a great facility.
Do you have the draws up?
I do. You want me to start with boys 12 singles?
Please do.
All right, boys 12 singles. Flynn Sissel defeated Ethan Perpich 6-2, 6-4.
In boys 12 and under singles, it was, I have to scroll over because that was a big draw. I have to scroll over and get to the final here. Okay. In the boys 14 and under singles, it was Ledger Sissel defeating Ace Osmond 6-1, 6-1.
In boys 16 singles, it was Carson Cunningham defeating Reese Spalding 6-0, 6-3.
And in boys 18 and under singles, it was Samuel Bryan defeating Tobias Mandeville in a walkover.
Always a fun way to...
I don't know the situation there, but it says walkover ill, so hopefully he was okay.
Girls 14 and under singles, Paige Cunningham defeated Lilia Kimberlane 6-0 and 6-0.
In girls 16 and under, it was Claire Riney defeating Paisley Harris 6-4, 6-3.
And in girls 18 singles, it was Peyton Lemley defeating Paisley Harris 6-2 and 6-1. Those are a pair of South Warren teammates.
Ah, okay. In boys 18 and under doubles, it was Josiah Castanier and Gabriel Brangers defeating Naru Suji and Ben Farrell 6-1, 6-2.
In girls 18 doubles, I think this is cousins versus sisters. Claire Riney and Lauren Bragg defeated Ava and Emma Walker 6-3, 7-5.
The mixed 18 and under doubles was a round robin. The champions of that were Samuel Bryan and Molly Bryan. And now we can move on to the adult draws. And if you have those up, Chad, I think we can start with men's open singles.
Men's open singles, Zachary Kuo defeated, and I don't know how to pronounce this last name.
I think it's Heshimi.
I thought it was Heshimi or Hashimi. So Zachary Kuo defeated Chase Heshimi 6-3 and 6-2.
In men's C singles, it was Jeremy Boer defeating Larry Kohler 6-3, 7-5.
In men's B, it was Hank Campbell defeating Jovan Torres 6-2, 6-0.
And in men's 40 and over singles, we have Joe Reed defeating Wade Stone 6-4, 6-2.
In women's open singles, there was just one match, but it was a good one. Genevieve Jackson defeated Sloane Smith 6-7, 6-0, and 10-6 in the Super Breaker.
In women's B singles, there was also just a final. Jacqueline No defeats Karina Rosales 6-love, 6-love.
In men's open doubles, which was a nice field, there were a number of college kids that played in this one. Chase Heshimi and Matthew Smith defeated Colin Hart and Bernard or Bernie Howard 7-5, 6-7, and 10-6 in
That's
Super
a tight one. Yeah, that's a tight one. In men's C doubles, it was Sam Blackwell and Joshua Laster defeating Jeremy Boer and Espen Boer 6-1, 3-6, and 11-9 in the Super.
Men's B doubles, it was Brandon Sissel and Jay Vaughn defeating Denny Murray and Hank Campbell 6-4 and 6-4.
In the men's 40 and over doubles, they played a 3-team round robin, and the champions won both of their matches. That's Michael Eden and Kyle Macy winning that division.
Women's open doubles was just one match, and in the final, Jennifer Corbin and Vemihan Kaisi defeated Erin Riney and Olivia Bello 6-1 and 6-2.
All right. Women's B doubles was also a round robin. Lots of round robins at the State Farm Etown Open. The champions were Becky Stobaugh and April Harris, winning both of their matches, and they win women's B doubles.
In mixed open doubles, it was Joe Reed and Susan Simmons defeating Jason Towle and Abby Henson 3-6, 6-4, and 10-5 in the super tiebreak.
Susan and Joe are awfully tough. The final division then is mixed B doubles, and the champions there were Jason Caldwell and Mallory Corte, defeating Javon Torres and Parker Lawley 6-4, 4-6, and then 10-8 in the super tiebreaker. So that's a look back at the State Farm Etown Open results. Before we move ahead, Chad, can you tell us a little bit about Family Medical Centers?
Family Medical Centers is a community health center with more than 225 locations throughout South Central and a portion of North Central Kentucky in 33 counties. They've been providing health care to Kentuckians for over 17 years, providing complete primary care services. They also offer pediatrics, OBGYN, oral health services, school-based health centers, behavioral health services, mobile optometry services, substance use disorder treatment, a pediatric wellness program, workplace wellness program, a discount pharmacy program, outreach services, and local scholarship opportunities, and more. Family Medical Centers has been recognized as a national quality leader by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Check them out on their website at cumberlandfamilymedical.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/Family Medical Centers, or you can find them on Instagram and Twitter at Cumberland FMC.
Well, you did that really well. It sounds like you almost, are a radio guy or something.
You just got that stuff tucked away somewhere. You just have to pull it out from the podcast.
Yeah, we don't want people to be sick and have to go to a doctor or a nurse practitioner or see a mental health professional. But if you do, that ad is going to drive you right to Family Medical Centers, no doubt. Let's see. Next thing we would do is the point standings. So, though, we don't have time. I just don't think we have time. So that's the excuse I'm going to use instead of the fact that they're not ready, is that we don't have time. So, yeah, just no time. I did work on them this week, though. I did. Worked on them.
Maybe after Danville.
Maybe, yeah. That would be a good, the midway point. 4 tournaments are over. Here's where we are. That's a good idea, Chad. So if anybody asks why the points aren't ready, I'm going to say, well, Chad thought that it would be best to wait until after 4 tournaments were finished.
It's like the BCS. They don't release that stuff right at the beginning of the season. They let you get a couple weeks in before they let you see it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Well, what is coming up next is the Danville Open. You missed the deadline. It was last night at 6:00. Of course, people will still call and with their sad stories.
Yeah. Our internet didn't work last night.
Yeah. It didn't work the 8 other days either, but it wasn't working last night. That tournament is this weekend, July 20th and 21st. The Danville Open has, it was a staple of the CKTS in the early years, and I think it stopped around 2013, roughly 10 years ago. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to go back in the ring binders and look. But it was around that time when Dave Brown, who had directed that for years, he changed jobs. It just wasn't as easy for him to do this anymore. So he gave it up. We moved that tournament somewhere else. But now we're back. And Boyle County High School tennis coach Teo Costello is running that tournament. He's going to get help from the Danville High School tennis coach also. I think his name's Greg Foley. And some parents are helping them too. So they've got 2 facilities. Millennium Park will be the kind of the main home base of the tournament, and that's where Boyle County plays. They have 6 new courts there at Millennium Park, and then at Bate Middle School, at Danville Independence Middle School, that's where their high school courts are. They have 6 courts there also, so we're going to have 12 courts to use. Those courts are not new, but they have been recently redone. So we're going to have some good matches on some at 2 good facilities, and hopefully the weather is going to cooperate with us as well.
That's where you and I met.
We had talked on the phone, met in person at the Danville Open. Yes, you and Mark. Was it Mark that was your doubles partner? Shelton? Mark Shelton?
And I. That's the first CKTS event I ever played was the Danville Open.
Well, we were glad to have you. And then the rest is history, right?
Right. Made it to the finals because I didn't really expect to, and we ended up getting a hotel in Danville and lost in the final. But I think 2010 was the first year we had an event on the CKTS, and as you said, the rest is history.
The rest is history. The next tournament after this weekend will be 2 weekends away in Somerset. That's the Alton Blakely Lake Cumberland Open. That tournament has been growing over the last few years, so they are excited to put on another one. It's going to be August 3rd and 4th. The entries will open this coming Monday, July 22nd. And those entries will be open for 9 days. And
I feel like we're leading.
Close.
I feel like we're heading in a certain direction.
They'll close at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Tuesday, July 30th.
Tuesday.
At the end of that 9-day registration window. Yes. And you could visit CKTS Tour. You could visit, CKTSTour.com to register and to see what other tournaments we have coming up and when their registration opens and closes. Our tournaments, by the way, are USTA sanctioned for juniors and adults at level 6. Chad, do you have any Soki tennis announcements for us today? Or if not, we'll do some next time.
Yeah, we'll do some next time. I think we're in a little bit of a lull. The Weldon is coming up in August. If you're familiar with that, that will be out at the Warren County Tennis Facility using the outdoor courts. The Weldon is a long-standing tournament for amateurs.
That goes back decades, doesn't it?
It goes back half century probably.
And it used to be in Glasgow for
usually
the longest time.
Glasgow. I believe it is named after a Glasgow physician. But Terry Bennell runs that, and a lot of times you'll see like guys who just graduated high school that are going to play college, or college players will play in it. It is a money tournament. It's a they've got a singles and a doubles division, so I think that's coming up the weekend after no, I actually think it might be the same weekend as the Lake Cumberland Open. I think it's August 2nd and 3rd. So, but that's coming up. I don't think we have anything else really on the agenda because we're getting into mixed doubles, USTA League, and then combo and tri-level are behind that. So I think that's what's going on right now here in the area.
Well, if you want to check out what Soki is up to, you can go to SokiTennis.net or visit their Facebook page, a very active Facebook page, at facebook.com/SokiTennis. As far as USTA Kentucky, they still have the window open to nominate for USTA Kentucky awards. I don't know if there's a rule either that you can't win the same award 2 years in a row. So I don't know. Hint, hint. I'm just saying.
I also don't think there's a rule you can't MC the event 2 years in a row.
No, there's definitely no rule that you can't MC the same event 2 years in a row. Hint, hint.
I guess we'll know how well we did if we get invited back.
Yeah, I mean, did I jump the gun by going ahead and making my hotel reservation? Did I No, I didn't. I didn't do that. For more details on USTA Kentucky, you can visit KentuckyTennis.com or at USTA Kentucky on Facebook and X. You can also, if you have a tennis announcement, you can send it to us at info@gamesetmatchky.com, and we'll be glad to read it out on the show. Chad, do we have time for a challenge the call question? We have 10 minutes.
I think so. I think we're good.
Okay. The question is, why does the CKTS have deadlines on Tuesday nights? Isn't that a little early? And what they're asking is, why cut it off on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock when the tournament doesn't start until Saturday morning? And as a longtime tournament director, I'll let you answer first.
Well, I would say that the structure of the tour was in place before me, so I've just kind of gone along with it. I will tell you that from a tournament director perspective, we put the draws out Thursday night, and there's a lot to do from when the deadline passes Tuesday night to Thursday night. So having it later, I know some other tournaments do it, but having it later gives me anxiety because I really kind of need Friday to kind of get the logistical stuff done. So, I really think that Tuesday deadline is actually later than most. A lot of USDA tournaments, it's like a week before the tournament when the deadline.
Is that right? I wondered about that.
And that goes to the other thing. If there's criticism of the tour, is that the window is pretty short for registration, but that's because we don't want to have. You'll have some confusion if people are able to register for one event when another one hasn't finished yet. And so that's why we don't open up registration until the Monday after the previous tournament. And so that's what leads to the short window, because we're a series of tournaments all kind of using the same infrastructure to register. At least that's the way that I see why it's done that way. But man, sometimes the Tuesday deadline is later than I wish it were. One thing you get at CKTS tournaments is a lot of times it's a T-shirt. Sometimes it can be a hat, or it can be a towel, or whatever. But trying to do T-shirts when you don't have, it's tough to get T-shirts turned around in 2 days, 3 days.
Do you turn yours around that quick? Because most of the other tournaments order theirs. They just make a guess on numbers and sizes, and they just order them ahead of time, regardless of what.
I have a formula based on what we end up with. At the end, did we order too many larges and not enough smalls? And I've tweaked that over the years. And sometimes you have more juniors, so you need the smaller sizes. Yeah. But I generally will. I usually turn in my T-shirt order a week before. So Friday before, I can kind of see what our numbers are going to look like and how many I'm going to need. But sometimes you get it right, and sometimes you get it wrong, and that's why people show up on Sunday afternoon asking for their T-shirt, and I'm like, all I got's XL and a large.
Yeah.
So I think we've said this before. If you really want that tournament T-shirt, regardless of where you're at on Saturday, you better go to the site where they're getting out and get them.
Get there early and get them, because before they run out. I mean, our tournaments do not have to give you a T-shirt. That's just something most of them do, or a towel. And you're not guaranteed one, and we've written that down. The T-shirts are never guaranteed, and sometimes sizes do run out. You just need to try to get yours early. So if you don't play until noon on Saturday, maybe get there at 10, claim your shirt, and then go get something to eat before your match or whatever. So, but to answer the challenge, the call question, we have deadlines on Tuesday night, because then that gives about a 48-hour turnaround to handle all the logistics of the pairings, the scheduling, Some of these tournament directors have jobs, you know, they have 9 to 5 jobs sometimes, and they can only work on this after hours. So they may need a couple of evenings to start to complete putting all this together. And in the meantime, after the deadline closes, they're getting phone calls from people that say, "Hey, I turned my ankle last night in drop shots, and I can't play this weekend. I need to drop out." So they're trying to get all that weeded out of the brackets and the schedule ahead of time too. So that's why we need the time. And our directors lately have been pretty good about getting their draws released on time, so that's good. But that's because they've been given a couple of days to make it happen.
Yeah, I generally try to get my draws all done on Wednesday, and then I try to schedule on Thursday. And I'm doing it throughout the day, here and there, depending on what the job requires. But that gives me enough time to do the scheduling and then try to go back and look over the scheduling to make sure I don't have players on top of each other for different times. It can be a real challenge, especially when you have people saying, "I can't play between 10 and 2, or I can't play Saturday after 1 o'clock." And if you try to make that happen, it can make it difficult, and sometimes you just can't.
Another thing that happens too, and I've seen this week, kind of helping Teo kind of get organized for the Danville Open behind the scenes, is that sometimes, and we've talked about this on the show before, doubles partners both have to register. So sometimes we get a registration, somebody's signed up for singles and doubles with so-and-so. So-and-so never signed up. So we didn't get a payment from so-and-so. We didn't get any information about your doubles partner. And then that involves an email or a phone call to try to run down. Then they've got to send a PayPal invoice to this person if they are indeed playing. So there's a lot of trickiness to it. That's why we want everybody, get on the ball, set a reminder on your phone. You've got a 9-day window, get your registration in, and let's go play.
Yep.
If you have a challenge the call question, we like these. Send us another one. You can email it to challenge@gamesetmatchky.com. So thanks for the question. And that's going to serve out another episode of Game Set Match Kentucky because, like I said, we're kind of in a hurry here. You got 2 minutes before Chad has to leave and get to work. So I'm going to have to read fast. Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. You can subscribe, as always, with any major podcast app. Please leave us a review. Please leave us a kind 5-star review in your podcast apps. You can go to GameSetMatchKY.com for our complete history of 39 episodes. You can also find us on Facebook at GameSetMatchKY. We're on X at GameSetMatchKY. The CKTS is on X at CKTS Tour. Chad is on X at Chad Young Tennis, and I'm on X at Chris Godby. Here's something about X really quickly. We're not broadcasting this show on X anymore. We're still on the other platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram Live. I think I'm making that work correctly. Kids, let me know. But we're not streaming this on X anymore because X now requires a paid premium account to stream to their platform. So Elon, I love you, but I'm not paying it. Sorry, we can't. We've got other platforms for free, so everybody's just going to have to check us out there. Had you heard about this? It just happened.
No, I had not heard about that.
Yeah. And our church services at my church, Liberty Baptist, shout out. We also stream to Facebook, YouTube, and we're streaming to X. And then this past Sunday morning, I saw the pop-up message, requires a premium account. So buy Twitter, buy X. We'll still post information there, but our streams won't be there anymore. But we're on Instagram, as I said, at GameSetMatchKY. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/@GameSetMatchKY. We'd like to say thanks again to our sponsors, Vision Cabinet Source and Family Medical Centers. And they still use this at Wimbledon. I love it. Hawkeye says we are out. Until next time, Chad's got to go to work. I got to go take my kids some lunch at band camp here in a minute. I'm Chris Godby with Chad Young, and this has been Game Set Match Kentucky.